just going to show you a little bit of what's inside each pack. I've included a needle, some thread to stitch it with, some washi tape, some pre-cut journal papers and some bits and pieces, just cutouts, things that you can use to decorate with. What made me want to make these was the last time I had a market, I had quite a few people asking if I had kits, and I'd only made 2 kits because I was too busy making other things. So when I got time, I thought, let's get some made. I'm going to start making more and just have them in stock. I'll be putting them up on my Facebook page and probably into my Etsy shop. But they're great little fillers to have in your shop. And people really like to have the opportunity to try making a journal by themselves. So having all the stuff pre-done just makes it quick and not so overwhelming. So now it's getting into what kind of cover you're going to make. First up, we're just going to look at making a hard cover, and it just means backing the paper with some card and putting another cardstock on the other side. So just watch on and you'll see how to do it. I forgot to mention here, you can use any sort of card. Like I use cereal packets mostly, or manila folders, anything really, and you just trim down the card to size, ready to make your cover. I usually get 3 bits, the 2 sides, and then there's going to be a centre bit. I'm a little heavy-handed here. I'll fix it up later. If you make a soft cover, you don't need to have the centre bit. You just use it all in one piece and you don't have to do all this extra bit. But this makes a kind of nice journal. You'll see the difference at the end where I have the 2 different ones made. I leave a little flap here to make a pocket on the inside of the journal. You can see the little flap, and I don't stick card here. Adding this little bit in the centre just makes a wider journal. It's a little bit more fiddly, but if you want a thicker journal, then this is what you need to do. You can see here the spine I've added is only really thin. Normally it would be much bigger than that, but I'm only putting 1 signature in this journal. So I'm deciding whether I'll put the paper or fabric over it. The fabric is really strong, and in the end I decided not to. I thought I'll cover it with paper first and then maybe put some fabric on at the end. I just used some nice grey paper and I covered it on both sides. When I make a spine, I always add a bit of extra strong glue, just makes it a whole lot stronger. And then I use a bone folder to score along the crease lines. You just make sure you do this before it dries so that when it dries, it folds nicely. I fold both ways usually just to get a bit of flexibility into the cover. And once everything is dry, it's time to put it all together. So before you go any further, if you want to have stitching around your cover, you need to do it now. But you can see the cover's quite nice, strong, and I'm going to make a little tuck spot or envelope. Oh, I can't remember what that's called. Anywho, there's plenty of different ways to make hardcovers. YouTube's got plenty of tutorials that you can watch. Oh, and by the way, if you could subscribe or just hit the like button, it will help my channel grow and I would be grateful. Thank you. I'm just adding some pretty papers just to finish it all off. You'll see as I open the cover, I just wanted it all to match on the inside. And before I stitch it all together, I'm just trimming down the edges where there's a few little overhangs. You can use scissors if you haven't got a blade, but the blade's a much nicer finish. It's time to put the holes in, ready to stitch it all together. I just eyeball it usually and use a ruler as a guide. But it's important that you get the holes in the right place in the papers. If you don't have an awl, you can use a little thumbtack or anything sharp. Just measure the same distance from the top and the bottom and make sure you get your papers in the right spot. I usually hold it together with a paper clip and then I get a little bit of paper and measure where it is and put it inside so that I can put the holes in the journal papers as well. I actually made a few mistakes with this one, but that's because I was just rushing. So just fixing up my little mistake. But you can see I'm pretty hit and miss. Here I am just sewing the soft cover journal. So I haven't put any card on the inside of this. I'm just using the cardstock. And I usually do 3 lengths of cotton. And then I run it through some wax, unless I've got the wax thread. I just use a candle. So in through the centre, back in through the top one. If you can do that. And then hold that little bit of thread and then go all the way along to the bottom. And through the bottom. See, sometimes it's easier just to separate it to thread it through. Then you go back up through the centre. Oh, I missed this. You go back up through the centre and have the threads on either side of that centre piece of cotton and then tie it off. Sorry, I didn't realise I had cut that little bit out. And do 3 ties. And there you have it, all finished, and I'm quite happy with that. I ended up popping a little hole in the front cover and adding a tie and a little tag. Very cute.